My guest today is Swamp Dogg. Born Jerri Williams Jr. before turning into Swamp Dogg, he would go on to spend much of the 50s and 60s immersed in the world of soul, funk, and R&B, both as an artist as well as a producer working with the likes of Patti LaBelle, the Commodores, and the Drifters. But beginning with 1970's Total Destruction to Your Mind, Swamp Dogg would go on to release a string of more than 24 albums, ranging from the radically subversive to the downright ridiculous, developing an underground following in the process that would make fans of everyone from DMX to John Prine. Though most of his records with their oddball titles and even more bizarre artwork would go woefully underappreciated in their own time, today critics and audiences alike would eventually come to see Swamp Dogg for the visionary he was, with the Fader declaring him a legend, the Independent dubbing him a psychedelic soul original, Pitchfork calling him one of pop's great cult acts, and Rolling Stone hailing his catalog full of classics that have influenced generations of younger musicians. And it gives me great pleasure to welcome the revolutions per movie, an absolute legend, Swamp Dogg. Hi, Swamp Dogg.
Hey, man, how you doing?
I am doing so good. And Moogstar, it's so good to see you too. Hi.
Hello, hello.
Oh, heroes. I'm freaking out. Okay. I've done this show. I've done like 262 episodes about music documentaries and music films. And I just want to say that Swamp Dogg Gets His Pool Painted is way up there with some of the greatest films, just not even about music, one of the greatest documentaries ever made. And I love that at the beginning you say, bear in mind that this is just a dream, and again, it could be reality, and reality is a slippery subject.
Yeah.
So when these people came to you and said, we want to document you, did you run towards that, or did you have any hesitations?
It just started, well, they were actually here to do a video of a song I had for Carl's label. What was the name of his label?
Joyful Noise.
Yeah, Joyful Noise.
All right. Okay.
And
I'll pretend.
And it was after 10. And they started looking around the house, and we were talking and so forth. And it, like, slowly, they started talking about making a documentary. Well, I didn't even give it any thought. You know, when they said, we'd like to, okay. Because I've had people come up, say they want to do things.
Sure.
And I'm still waiting,
Yeah, totally. I get it.
60, 70 years later. But I know they'll get back to me.
Right.
But they said, you mind if we start doing some shots and so forth? And so I don't care, And before I knew it, they were all enthralled, and it caught me also. And I figure it must be something, because they were talking about not spending any money. They said, we can do this with our own personal resources. So it wasn't like I've had people come to me and say, boy, you need a video and 50 grand, It's
Right.
Kiss my whatever,
You can say it. Come on. Remember, reality is a motherfucker.
Yeah.
Know that one.
So, yes. So it took eight years if you take a year out for
Wow.
but it was 8 years in the making.
That's amazing. And was the pool a genesis of, like, was that a concept that they were like, this will hang the movie on your pool actually getting painted? Or was that something that you're like, I'm doing that anyway?
The pool needed painting. And
it's quite a pool.
Yeah, so I had asked one of them, I said, man, you know anybody who can paint a pool, but I want uh, a particular image in there. And he said, yeah,
You mean
uh,
this one here?
yeah, right, exactly.
There's no other choice.
So they thought that was a great idea.
Yeah.
And when the artist came, and I can't think, do you remember the artist's name?
Which one? Justin Vernon?
No, not Justin, but you play Jesse. Jesse painted the pool.
Yeah, Jesse was
artist,
his name, right? Yeah.
Okay. And he is, you know, is renowned in circles and shit.
Yeah, it's amazing.
And to get him was kind of a coup because he really didn't have anything like this planned. And but he put everything aside and took that on.
And it always takes way longer than they say it's going to.
Oh yeah, oh yeah,
yeah. And for people who haven't seen the film, it well, I don't want to give it away because it is a great reveal. Like the whole time you're like, what is he doing? What is he doing? And so yeah, I'm just going to leave it at that. But I love also that right out of the gate, it almost feels like, is this a narrative film? Like the way he introduces you all, the way they introduce you in the film, it's just like, it feels like, are these people going to do a heist together? What's going on? They've got like, animated logos when they pop through, and then, guitar shorties over in the bushes, and you guys are having a good time with him. It's just the way it introduces the subjects is so lovely and unusual. I mean, hell, even the voice of SpongeBob just shows up in your backyard.
Yeah,
it's just like really lovely.
Yeah, and he comes down, like out of the bushes,
he struggles a bit.
Yeah,
not a nature guy.
Yeah,
and also in your house, like the beeping of like the smoke alarm and your TVs and the ceiling fans. It's like it's full of characters. And again, you can't write this stuff. You just have to live it, and then it becomes part of this amazing story. So it was so interesting. You talk about it in the film a bit, but even on your first record, which I have to ask you, I have you here. For years, what is on your head there?
I was making a graduation cap out of paper, but it was cold out there, and I was trying to make it. That's right behind LaGuardia Airport.
Oh wow!
Of a bunch of old trucks and tractors and stuff back there. And that's what I'm sitting on. I think I'm sitting on the back of a truck or I don't know.
Oh, it's so striking. You're like, I love that you were like, that's the cover. That's me. But inside you, there's a quote from Don Quixote, of course, says, Swamp Dogg would have all the earmarks of a winner if he would change his name to something catchy and clever. For instance, Jerri Williams. So what I just am curious, like, can you let the listeners know a bit about the transition from Jerri Williams, the composer and performer, into Swamp Dogg?
Well, it was, I wanted. I don't know why I'm stuttering and carrying on.
Drink some coffee.
Yeah, that's a good idea. Anyway, Jerri Williams had reached a point that I really couldn't visualize too much of a future for Jerri Williams. It was like the music, you were okay. I wasn't the type of guy that women pay money to come to the theater and just look at and fall out and shit,
Their loss.
And record companies thought that things I wrote were good but not commercial, and just the idea. So I decided to just do things on my own, pay for my own recordings and so forth. And then once I started that, people started understanding where I was coming from. Nevertheless, they still thought I was crazy. And I guess I was. I still am a little bit. But I'm trying to bring all this in there. Jerri Williams kind of got away from me. And I invented this character, Swamp Dogg, who was actually supposed to pick up all the pieces that Jerri Williams had dropped over the years and just go forward. Almost like having a couple of big bulldogs, walking with you. Nobody's well, hey, that might not be good either. But I lost Jerri. I lost Jerri Williams, and Swamp Dogg had to go out and find Jerri Williams plus, and behind the plus is things allowing Jerri Williams to say things he wanted to say, but he couldn't say them as Jerri Williams. He had to say them through, I'm going to sneeze in a minute, blow my nose on television.
Hey, yeah. They're worse jobs.
Leave that in if you want to. I don't care.
Yeah. Well, if it's right, it'll be right. Yeah, definitely.
Trumpet sound.
Yeah.
But I don't know as much about Swamp Dogg, I guess, as I should.
Mm-hmm. And here's the part where Swamp Dogg twisted a Kleenex up his nose and left it there. No, I don't
know why I did that, Chris.
That's Swamp Dogg.
That's us, man. That's great. We're here. We're friends. It's awesome.
So, where you from originally?
I was born in Moscow, Idaho, and moved to Portland when I was 2, and I've lived here my whole life. Yeah. I mean, I've toured around the world with music and stuff, but Portland's my home. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I think the most honest and good music distributor is in Portland. Burnside.
Yeah. I mean, if you have someone who pays on time and doesn't lie, that's right. Half the battle. I get it.
And that's him.
Returns your calls. Yes.
Yeah.
The amazing thing about Swamp Dogg's records is, as surreal and funny as they can get so profound, even like up to the murder ballad you have, on, the Bluesgrass record. It's like, when you want to be profound, it's like, what is your process like for lyrics? Because I'm just blown away. Like, when you read in the film, you do, I Was Born Blue, and you read like, why am I the target of hate and abuse when things go wrong? Why am I the first to be accused? Am I asking more than anybody else when I try for the opportunity to help myself? Why wasn't I born with orange skin and green hair like the rest of the people in the world? I was born blue. That's incredible.
I've always been raised in the South. They want to call it East Coast, but it's Portsmouth, Virginia. I was made to understand that I was inferior. Not this wasn't my family. This was just society itself. That I was inferior to the white man. Take for instance, like walking down. If I'm on the sidewalk and I see a white man coming towards me, I step off into the street. Even if it's a NASCAR race going on, I got to step into the street and let this white man pass. Then I can get back on. Um, there was I was looking for trying to find out what made me so different, or why was I different, or was I different uh, than other people. Uh, and other people just happened to be white at that time. Guys, I don't think there wasn't too many other races down there. Uh, some Chinese, but very few. Uh, it was just I said everybody else just must look like they must be normal, and I must look like Nostradamus or some shit, you know. Uh, that it's strange. I found myself to be strange when I think about myself. A lot of people think I'm humble. Maybe I am. I don't be getting off into other people's shit, you know. But it's I don't know. This it's just life has always been living. Life has always been uh, strange to me, as though I didn't belong here on earth. I mean, I ain't getting ready to commit suicide, none of that kind of shit. That part, I I could easily talk myself out of that bullshit. But everything was different. It was different, you know, with the colored and white water fountains, with the colored and white toilets, and black sit in the back and whites up front. And you know, I was thinking about it really. They didn't explore that because you know, if we're in a theater and the theater catch on fire, everybody that's in the back gonna get out first. You know,
Right.
it's like if anything happens, well, all blacks will be out there and the white people will be on fire and shit. You know,
It's just a beautiful, it's a really powerful song, you know, and for it to come so early in your career, when in the film you talk about it, you know, like when you were doing shows where like Leroy Little is booking you
yeah,
and stuff, and a lot of times they're like, they'd book you and they wouldn't know you were a black artist, right? You know,
right,
until you showed up, and then even your A&R work, it was like they needed somebody. They're like they didn't have any black people on staff, and
right.
it was like ludicrous, So, I don't know. I find as great as you are a humorist in your lyrics, a lot of your work is really beautifully profound, and I just wanted a chance to say that to you. So,
But thank you. I don't feel profound. Of course, I don't know what profound's supposed to feel like. But
Moogstar, what was your comfort level being in the film? Because you are really very honest and give a lot of yourself in this film too.
Yeah. It was a chance to express some things, but I didn't know, again, like he didn't know we were like doing some kind of a documentary movie film. We was just giving information. I just decided to talk. I've been going through a lot of things in life, so now I think I should say something, it might help somebody. I didn't know it was going to go like that. Glad I didn't lie about anything. My God. Lord have mercy. They checked everything.
Yeah, it's a very powerful, beautiful moments in the film from both of you. There's that great sequence where they show you Moogstar recording all the people really quickly, turning the camera on. It's like boom, 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 boom. So it's like, how did you both get in each other's world and just continue to work? Because in the film, it's obvious that, like, you're walking through your living room, you're like, this is our video station now. This is where we make the green screen videos and stuff. Not even how you met, but just like how, when you knew that, okay, this is meant to be the partnership where, like Swamp Dogg, you say, if I tell him to go on the roof to make music, he goes on the roof to make music. I mean, that's a rare partnership to find.
I think it's beautiful because he allows you to express yourself, because he's very expressful to himself. I mean, and I watch him, you know what I mean, how he works with people, and he loves people, he cares, and for someone to do that, I care. So when I can see that, and then by us coming together, Wally Roker introduced us to each other, and we just been ever since. He said, "You guys need to be together." And a year later, I'm next thing you know, I'm talking to him. I met him in the shower. I wasn't in the shower with him, but he was in the shower on the phone. And I was like, I never talked to anybody on the phone in the shower.
Right.
You know what I mean? You're going to get electrocuted. I'm thinking, this guy's nuts. He's like, you know anything about me? I was like, nope, never heard of you. But Wally made sure, that and he's like, well, how can you work with somebody that don't know, you don't know if the information.
Right.
And Wally Roker knew a lot. To me, I think he was so creative and so motivating to a lot of us, he has a big historical thing going for him. He's the guy that almost flipped over when he was trying to go to the movie scene, when they were serving the food,
right,
at the record company. And he tripped over the thing. He had the microphone in his hand.
Okay.
I wasn't there for that, but what was he doing with that microphone? How did he get that microphone?
What's the microphone?
Yeah, it wasn't a hot dog.
I gotta look at the movie again. Then I've only seen it like about 30 times.
Microphone, like he was interviewing somebody. It was one of them microphones.
I thought it was a book or something.
No, you need to see that again.
Yeah. I do.
Yeah, but yeah, I like it. Wally's really wonderful. He put us all together, and we just grown and grown and grown. And it allows everything to happen. You open the door and say, here, be creative like I am,
Right.
And, you can help where you need to be. You feel free, being free to be able to, you don't even know where you're going to be. You're just going to be wherever you're going to be.
He was originally the bass singer for the Heartbeats. You remember those Down on My Knees and all that as well?
Wow.
Yeah. But when it became Shep and the Limelights, he left because Shep stayed so drunk he never made the gigs. So it was anyway. I mean, seriously, it didn't make them.
Well, I love in the movie that your daughter, Dr. Jerri, says that the house you all are in is, she says, it's like living with someone who works for the CIA. They got a secret they can't tell you. And it is like the way that it's like a living, breathing, creative, vibrating house. It feels like, just even walking down the halls, if you peek in and you see Guitar Shorty sitting there in his robe, it's like there's magic in those shots. It's like there's energy just pouring off every inch of this house. I think they captured that really beautifully.
Yeah,
they did.
Yeah, they did a great job.
The other thing I'm really glad they documented it was that they got footage from you making Blackgrass, which is just such a high watermark. That is an incredible record.
Well, I was raised mainly on country music,
Okay.
with country music, whatever it is. And always, as a kid on talent shows, I always sung country songs like Peace in the Valley by Red Foley and Had a Call Boogie and all that kind of stuff. Um, that was something that was brought to my attention, that I actually have been writing country music for years. I just,
Totally.
yeah, but what made me know that I was really in love with it is when people who were considered country, like Jerry Lee Lewis, and he's more what I would call country rock and roll. When I just fell totally in love with his stuff, and I wanted to sound like him. I wanted to sing like him. But then on the other hand, I wanted to sound like Big Joe Turner also.
Right.
The big, rough voice.
Listening to this record, it's not like necessarily like a country record, but it is a country record. And you're the form you work in, the songs you sing, like they're soulful, and country is very soulful. But as a kid, I had it drilled into me because I did not have access to great legends of country music. I just had kind of the dregs, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And the flag waving part of it that made me nervous. And so it wasn't until adulthood that I was like, oh, it's an incredible form of music. And it, again, yeah, it led the way into rock and things, you know,
Mm-hmm.
but it was my own prejudices about it. When did you get to meet John Prine?
Around 1968.
Wow.
That's when I met John.
Okay.
Him and his manager, Al Bonetta. I was working at Atlantic Records. Atlantic needed a black in-house A&R man. And at the time, I just happened to walk through the door, and I had made a record with Shipwreck, was the name of the record. It came out on Cotillion, which was Atlantic. And they asked me what I wanted because they liked it. I told them how much money I wanted in advance. And I also said, and I want a job. You know, I had been at Music Corps where I did Gene Pitney, and I got fired for producing Gene Pitney.
Why were you fired for producing Gene Pitney?
Art Talmadge, a crazy motherfucker. He said that I had taken Pitney out of his arena, I guess, to and because he had told me when Pitney visited, he was coming in, and that I was not supposed to even breathe the same air as Pitney. And I don't care, you know. But Pitney came back to my little room and was listening. He like something like, well, man, play that again. I want to hear that. So I did. I mean, because he was the money maker for the company.
Right.
So I figured I can't just tell him, no, I'm not going to do this for you. So I played him some stuff. He said, boy, I wish I could sing like you. Man, at that time, he was doing Tournament of Roses, and he was getting all kinds. He was a superstar.
Right, totally.
At that time.
Amazing.
And you want to sing like me? Shit, I want to sing like you.
Right.
And he went in the studio. He learned the songs. He went in the studio and got them. And Art Talmadge, who was the president of the company, he got mad at me for doing it. Now, bear in mind, I had put 5 records on the chart. I Did Some Charlie Fox, Tommy Hunt. I was doing it, and making $100 a week before takeout. He did it. Mm-hmm. And matter of fact, Pitney wanted to do my stuff so much like me that if you listen to She's a Heartbreaker, listen real, real good, you can hear me singing in the background. And Pitney, you hear Pitney's voice. What it is, he had I was behind him singing. He had earphone off.
Right.
And I was singing some kind of way. I was singing in the background for him. He was following me.
Wow.
And
so cool.
Yeah, but really, please get a shot. You listen to that.
Oh yeah, and I will. Yeah, I'm going to put a link in the show notes, and it's everyone's homework, listeners.
That's so. I had a single out on the musical label called "Run Run Road Runner." Run, run, yeah. Run, Run, Road Runner. He recorded that. And I had already recorded. As a matter of fact, he was so crazy about what I was doing. He sung to my track.
Wow, that's incredible. Right, yeah, okay.
That's the track he's singing on. I had already recorded on.
And the label is just like, no? They think this is a bad idea?
Yeah.
God. Smart people, eh?
It was...
Wow.
Oh, man. That musical was an experience. It really was. Yeah, and we were talking, how did I meet John Prine?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. You get to be my age.
I'm right there with you. I'm right there with you. 58.
8. I'd take that and run like a thief in the night.
No, I know. I'm just saying the things that spiral off. I'm the same way. I'm like, where are we? It just happens. It's just life. But yeah, John Prine. So
anyway, Atlantic gave me a list of artists that they were getting ready to drop. And John Prine's name was on that list. They hadn't really given him a chance. And after talking to him and his manager and everything, and I listened to Sam Stone, which was the first thing he had cut, it was a single. And I said, okay, he might not be no Tony Bennett, but he's a writing son of a bitch.
Yeah.
And
absolutely.
You got to have good writers, man. I don't care how great your people can sing, If they ain't got nothing to sing, you don't have shit,
Right.
So I like them. I like them very much. So I could the people that was on the list, give an example, was like Hattie LaBelle and the Bluebells. Seeing the Shells, who were the Sand Pebbles when they left Calla Records and went to Cotillion. The Commodores.
Okay, yeah.
I had to damn near fall down on my knees and beg them to keep the Commodores. John, like I say, was on the list. And writing alone, which I think they later found out that this guy is super, super valuable. And we stayed in touch. 8, 9 years would go by and we talked. But and as we both got older, we formed a much closer relationship. But he was just always a real good guy, just a great guy.
Yeah.
And in a lot of ways, I wish I had the kind of attitude he had. And that's how I met him at Atlantic. And we stayed in touch. And we, to the point that like I ended up on his label. And the first big hit I had at Swamp Dogg was his Sam Stone. And that was the record he had in '68 that came across my desk and had his name on that list. And then, if you ever look at his song book, he was a writing ass, man. Matter of fact, I just did another one of John's tunes on my album that's coming out on S-Curve. Matter of fact, it was released on the 1st, called "Don't Bury Me in that cold, cold ground." The album is called Swamp Dogg Contemplates the Afterlife. There's a, and I have been thinking.
You have the best titles. Gag and Maggot, 13 Prime Wieners.
Yeah,
it's the best. Swamp Dogg, I tell you. But then John, this album, Blackgrass, that was on his label, right?
Yeah.
It was put out on Oh Boy, which is so cool, like the full circle.
I'm doing another one on Oh Boy. I am on Oh Boy, but I am not signed exclusively to anybody.
Right. They get you if you want it.
Yeah.
Exactly. That's the way to do it.
So, we got the budget and everything worked out for the next.
Oh, killer.
My album that I'm doing this time for Oh Boy, it is something that I look down my nose a little bit at artists who fill their records up with guests, Yeah. Well, that's what I'm doing.
Hey, you know what? You brought the Beatles Barkers into my life. You know what I mean? Like, so that's so funny. There were a couple of things in the film that I didn't know that you were behind. One was that you and Yvonne, your wife, had this record label, and it was like Country Gold, Jackson 5 and Johnny, which is the best one.
Yeah. Who the hell is Johnny?
I know. And the Beatles Barkers, I just flashed back. I was like, oh my God, that was coming out of your garage. Wow. So yeah, and I'm going to put in a little clip here of Beatles Barkers music so that you can remember it, because there's no way you don't. Anyway, that's Beatles Barkers. Like that blew my mind, because like you've done so much in your life. Had a label, like again, collaborating, writing for other people, the multitude of records. And then I also didn't know that you're part of the F.T.A, the Free the Army, Fuck the Army situation with like Donald Sutherland and Dick Gregory and Jane Fonda. And there's that great footage of her talking about the F.T.A movement on television. And she's like, and there's this great group we got, Swamp Dogg. I was like blown away. How did you get involved in the F.T.A?
Well, my attorney at the time, Bob Fitzpatrick, we were super close, and he was already, we had the same birthday too, and he was the one who incorporated Hell's Angels, and so a lot of people hated him.
Yeah, wow.
For making them legitimate. Wow. He was in charge of some of the recruiting for the F.T.A. And he and I weren't just attorney and client. We were damn good friends,
Mm-hmm.
And him being part of the committee, a lot of things came my way that ordinarily wouldn't have come my way. And it's like, hey, man, what do you think of Jane Fonda? Like, hey, what else to think except she's fine, But
it's Barbarella.
Yeah, right. Barbarella. He said, yeah, you want to be part of this? And I said, yeah. And the thing is, it's one of those, it was a charitable thing where like, you don't make any money. You're not paid any performance money. But you get a bushel of money as expenses,
Yeah.
You write out your expenses. And if you was making, at that time, if you was making $5,000 a night, you wouldn't be making anything, but your expenses would be 20 grand a night.
Right. Of course. Right. Yeah.
So that was, I was against the Vietnam War anyway. So that was hell of a motivation. And my wife, she was really stomped down protester. As a matter of fact, they did a documentary, the F.T.A. documentary.
Yes.
Which no one seems to know about, because at the showing of it, when it premiered, they asked for the thoughts of the people that were watching it. And my wife, Yvonne, she stood up and said something to the effect of, it ain't shit. And everybody is using it as a showcase.
Yeah.
And they're not giving a shit about the war. And that kind of got everybody who was involved to thinking and saying, uh, maybe Yvonne is right. And it kind of like pushed it under the table. Uh, and it was, everybody had, everybody in the film had ulterior motives, including me, you know. Um, I was against the wall, but I wasn't against the expenses per day.
Sure.
So.
Well, and also, it didn't cause you in the end to be like on an FBI watch list and get dropped from a label. It's like,
Electra dropped the hell out of me.
God.
And I also got sued by the Urban Berlin Foundation.
Oh my God.
Because on that Ratt On album is the song "God Bless America for What."
Yeah.
And I sang the line, "God bless America, unless they know what for." And Electra tried to get me to take that off,
Wow.
And I wouldn't do it. They had mistakenly given me a what do you call it? Complete. I have a total control. That's not the phrase.
Artistic. You had like Final Cut. You had artistic control, 100%
right.
artistic.
So, and then let me see. I'm trying to think of the president. Jack Holzman.
Right.
His brother was head of the art department, and he had his thing on how he wanted the album cover to be. Again, I've got complete, whatever it is, creative control.
That's it, yes.
So he hated me because I insisted on keeping the rat. I might have leaned towards something else if they hadn't come at me so. If it just made it so volatile.
Right. They were wrong. That is one of the most iconic album images ever. You riding a white rat.
Right.
It's like you can't unsee it.
Right.
Like when we all leave this realm, it'll be one of the 10 things in our brains that we'll be taking with us into the other parts of the universe.
Right.
It's just imprinted.
So.
Did you ever get any word back from the Beatles? Because the first line on your first record, Total Destruction of Your Mind, sitting on a cornflake, like what made you want to use that as like the first line? I mean, just did you fall in love with that line? What was I was curious, like if you're getting pushback from Irving Berlin's company, like, or group, like, did you ever hear anything from the Beatles about that?
No. And I'm just finding out, I think I'm finding out that, did they have a line like that in one of their songs?
Yeah. Sitting on a cornflake is in I Am the Walrus.
Okay. Do you know?
Same time, like I don't know who did it first or what. But I do know that, like, even the Beatles, when they did Abbey Road, like, Chuck Berry sued them for using his lyrics in it. Here come old flat top. Yeah. So I'm like, I have no idea. But I just was like, it's such a great lyric, wherever it came from. But I just like to have that just kick off one of the best openers on any album. And then it's just like sitting on a cornflake. It's like, that's all I need. That's all I need.
Right on the road. Somebody must have run that past me, and I did the image of of like sitting on a cornflake. I mean, who sees? Yeah, I mean, you know what a cornflake look like, and it was preposterous. It was.
Yeah, it should have been in your cookbook.
Yeah,
If you can kill it, I
I
can
can
cook
cook
it. I mean, you have the devil went down to Georgia for eggs, pate Quincy Jones, Tone Loc meatloaf. My favorite one, Gene Pitney heartbreaker cabbage.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. So yeah, there needs to be a second pressing of this book, which is amazing because you get the book and it's like it's also an autobiography that I
Right.
didn't know. It's amazing. I loved it.
And you know, if another one comes out,
Oh,
it's
please.
going to have more biography uh, than it has now. And hell, I had almost 20 potato recipes, and I forgot to turn them in. Uh, so I ended up with like one potato. I had like all kind of ways you could live the rest of your life just eating potatoes, right?
Yeah, right.
So I hope they'll be in the next.
Oh, there has to be. It's so great, Swamp Dogg. I mean, that's what I love about you and your albums and the stuff you make in the videos that you and Moogstar are making, and it's just a beautiful continuum, and I'm just so excited that like you have like an album out now, you have another one coming out, you went on this Outlaw Country
Yeah,
cruise and played on that. What was that like?
man, you talking about fantastic. I actually was told that we were the best. I guess because everybody on there had been on there before, and we were fresh.
Got it.
Yeah, because there was some great artists on there, and hell, uh, the artists came to me. They asked me to sing on stage with them. I did 3 shows, and I think I did 4. I did 3 shows at Swamp Dogg,
Right.
and I did 4 things with some of the bands. Like Nitty Gritty Dirt Band. I'm I sung with them. I sung with what's Steve's last name?
With Steve.
He was I kept trying to think of the songs he wrote. Steve. Uh,
Was it Steve Earle?
yeah,
There we go.
yeah.
Yeah, Steve
Oh,
Earle.
I sung with Steve Earle. Uh,
Wow.
Nitty Gritty Dirt Band. Uh, Margot Price, who
Yeah.
happens to be on my Black Grass album,
Yeah, she's great.
and uh, oh hell, man,
I'm trying to get the list, man.
you got the list.
I'm trying to get my phone to get in. It's just taking a minute.
But yeah, people just kept going like, come up.
Yeah,
And you're just like, sure.
I mean, I felt like royalty, man.
Right.
I really did.
You are, though. That's the thing. You are royalty, Like, even if it's a building floating on the ocean with music in it, you are royalty. I'm sorry
Man,
to blow your mind.
It was really. Hello? Gary Green. Jerri Williams. You right? Call me back in a couple of hours. I am tied up in an interview. I shouldn't even answer the phone, but I do want to talk to you. Thank you.
Hey, it's not a Swamp Dogg interview without you taking a call. It happens in the movie. You know, it's like I'm honored. I'm like, it's really happening. He's taking the call. Oh, so but what? I've never been on a cruise. Is it? I mean, like, what did you ever get like stir crazy out in that? Because like that's my fear is that I just be like.
Let me tell you, I never did go out on the deck on my balcony. Because it seems like when I get near things like that, something goes in my mind. I say, jump, jump, go jump.
Right.
And I say, fuck this. And I go back, I'd go back in my room.
Yes.
I didn't go out there.
Right. Lock it tight.
Yeah. I just, I tried not. I'm afraid of everything, but I'm not afraid of anything. Is because that's where I bring God in it. Like He gonna do some strange shit to you anyway.
Right.
So,
Yeah.
But I'm not gonna try to get His attention.
Right.
Here I am over here. You can do it to me. Fuck that.
Right.
But it was great. I'm quite sure I'm gonna be on the next one, and because this was the 10th one, but it goes on and on, and now that was exciting. That was something new for me, and at 83 years old, it's hard to find anything new.
Yeah, absolutely. I hear you. I mean,
that you haven't done
I bet.
or had. So
this is kind of maybe a hard question to answer, but in terms of creating, art, music, lyrics, do you have any advice for somebody who might be a little afraid to put the pen to the paper or put themselves out there?
During this time, like it's much different than when I was coming along, and it was bad then. If it's something that you feel you got a calling for, just push hard to show whoever's attention you're trying to get, to show them what you are trying to do. But also, I say, let it be something that if everybody turns their back, that you can do it yourself without everybody. I mean, it's like, what's the old boy name with got Tesla? Elon
Musk.
Yeah, Elon Musk. This motherfucker done took over the world. I mean, doing things that, of course, he started out a few $1 billion from his daddy, but still, if you got a daddy like that, use him,
Right.
You see these kids, like they're actors, like Nicolas Cage. I think his grandfather or father is the great director. What's his name?
Coppola. He's like the nephew of Francis Ford Coppola. Right.
Yeah. He's like, I don't use his name, bullshit.
Yeah, exactly. You got in a couple of those movies real quick.
Right. Yeah.
But he did do something with it.
Right.
Yeah.
So I say, like, you got to do something that if everybody abandons what you are trying to do, you can still move forward without them. And eventually, what you're doing will catch on if it's worth a shit. And then all these people will come back and you can just go your way. I've been turned down so many times, I didn't care. Hey, shit. But what I'm doing is my dream. This has been my dream since I was a little kid, I used to take 78s and I want to eat them. They were, the smell of the shellac and shit. Oh, man, it was a thrill, and still is.
Oh, it's amazing. I am so touched and honored to be here with you, Swamp Dogg. And Moogstar, it's so great to see you. I'm really touched that you are here as well. Again, I'll put a link where people can get all of Swamp Dogg's music, support him. He tours around. Go see him. Get the movie. Share the movie. Get Swamp Dogg in your life. Most of you already have him in your heart. But if you haven't experienced it yet, it'll never go away. You are in my record collection and heart and mind forever. So I just wanted to say thank you.
Hey, man, thank you. Shit, I appreciate it.
Thank you for listening to Revolutions Per Movie. We release new episodes every Thursday on your favorite podcast app and additional bonus episodes every Sunday on our Patreon. The show is a completely independent affair, so the best way to support the show is through our Patreon at patreon.com/revolutionspermovie, where you can get weekly bonus episodes and shows, exclusive limited edition flexi discs and records and CDs featuring guests that have appeared on the show, and other exclusive goods sent to you just for joining. You can follow us on social media at Revolutions Per Movie and also find out more information about our various guests in the episode show notes. Thanks again, and we'll see you next week. Bye!